So it appears that West Ham are going to make their first signing of the summer, that being Hadji Malick Diouf from Slaiva Prague. Sorry if my pronunciation's not perfect there, that'll be one that I get over time. This has been a player we've been linked with for a couple of weeks now. There was some weird reports coming out, some weird Twitter murmurings of Thomas Souček following West Ham Central on Twitter because Central and Thomas Souček's mate were talking about this transfer rumour, and Thomas Souček's mate was convinced that the deal was already done a few weeks ago, and for some reason Thomas Souček followed Central on Twitter, and from there everyone thought Agent Souček, he's done it again, he obviously did it with Vladimir Coufal in the past, and everyone thought it's happened again. And it seems to have been. We've now got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano, ex-West Ham United employee, has also said the deal was happening. As well, we got the classic private jet photo, which I thought was a thing specifically for Tim Stuyton, but I guess the good times roll on with your private jet photo. What do I think about the signing? Do you guys remember in my first video, if you had seen that, it's about Mohamed Kudus, when I said there are two types of signings that I get excited about, either the ones that I know from FIFA/Football Manager, you know, the players that you sign, the wonder kids, or the players you just have no concept or idea about. And this is it for me. Diouf seems to be a great lad from what I can tell. Just the reception he got yesterday from the Slaiva Prague fans does show you what kind of player we might be getting here. You know, the standing ovation, you get hugs from the manager, from the coaches, and this guy's only been there for 2 seasons. Based on what I can tell from the stats, he only really emerged in the main team this season. So I think it shows we're getting a character, and people who are good characters tend to do well at West Ham. You know, we see this a lot. West Ham will sign some really good players, like Mohamed Kudus, for example, and they just don't click in. Whereas players like Ballon Dawson, who we signed for 2-3 million and then, you know, become cult heroes, that night in Lyon will go down in history. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks about what he gets up to post that. As a West Ham player, that night in Lyon cemented him in history. And I think we're getting another player like that here with Diouf. He's 20 years old, so that obviously it's time just to bed him into the Premier League. And I hope we do that, because obviously we got Luis Guilherme last season and we didn't really use him. That does concern me. Now, obviously, this is a lot more. Actually, it's less money than what we spent on Guilherme. It's around 20 million euros by the looks of it, but the number is fluctuating between 20 and 25. Some people are saying it's like 18 with some add-ons that put it to 20. Some people say it's 20 with some add-ons that put it to 25. So it's in that 20 million to 25 million euro region, which I think is a good amount of money for a 20-year-old left back. Obviously, since Creswell left, we did need to fill that position. However, you know, will he start there? This is the topic now of conversation. What do we do with Diouf? Is it a left centre back role? Is it a left wing back role? Is it a left wing role? Because obviously last season, what I like to play is 3 centre backs, there's 2 wing backs, there's 2 midfielders, and there's 2 up top. That used to be the way we go about it. Will we stick with that? Well, it would work with Diouf. He's well versed on that left side. He can play left wing, left mid, left back. So obviously left wing back, you can fit that gap. It makes sense. The good thing is that we've got a myriad of players that can play there if we need them to. Obviously Emerson, Somerville, Potter played Somerville there in that great performance he had against Aston Villa in the FA Cup before unfortunately getting injured, and we wouldn't see him for the rest of the season. But overall, it was a really good showing from him on that role. It wouldn't surprise me if that's where Diouf is theoretically going to play. We might play Somerville farther up, I don't know. But obviously we've also got Ollie Scarles as well. I think some people are a bit worried about what this means for Scarles. I'm not. I think Emerson will go even more now with the signing of Diouf. To clarify, I like Emerson a lot. I don't know. I just don't think he fits Potter's system. I think that era of West Ham, although it was only 3 years ago, is slowly fading. I mean, how many of those signings that we made a few years ago are still at the club? Not many. It's a weird thing, right? We've seemed to try to go into a new era and not quite done it. I feel like we've kind of gone back to basics, West Ham. We've gone for a player that not many people were after. I don't think, there was rumours of, I think, Atalanta were in the running for him, but we seem to have got him. Obviously, he's not confirmed yet, not fully signed, but yeah, it looks like the medical's booked for today. So that's a good thing. So hopefully, as long as he passes that, which he will, that would be great. I'm really happy with the pace at which we got the signing of the line, because it could have taken us a long time. We know with David Sullivan, with Karen Brady, it can take a while. But this shows that we got our money from Kudus, and fair play to them. They said, look, as soon as you get that money, you can spend it. And we have quite quickly. Now, again, the one thing that gives me a bit of hope as well, post spending the Kudus money, is that we did put 2 bids in before. And the Prague owner was actually very outspoken, a bit like, yeah, we've rejected these 2 offers. This is the money. We're steadfast in this player. We really want this amount of money for him. And good for them. I think as an owner, you should absolutely do that. You know, say, unfortunately, it's what we didn't do with Kudus. You know, go, this is the amount. You ain't getting him if you don't spend that. And that happens when you plead poverty to everyone and go, we need money, we can't buy. So they'll just lowball you. Whereas this guy, he had the bit between his teeth and he went, no, that's the money. But you got to give him the credit to the team at West Ham for getting this deal done. We sold Kudus literally the day after I posted my video. If only I waited one more day, that video would be a lot more relevant. And I'm already getting linked to more players. Obviously, the midfield needs a revamp. There's been subtle links to Guido Rodriguez going elsewhere, but not much has come of that yet. But obviously, I'm a big believer in when there's smoke, there's fire. So I do expect people like Guido Rodriguez to leave this summer. Again, the names are being linked to. I'm going to do a video on that soon in the coming days. But in terms of Malick Diouf, really good signing. I'm excited to see him link up with the lads in their pre-season with Germany. I think it's really important because last season we got it wrong. We didn't have our players in for pre-season, and I think that's a really important factor. Get your players in for pre-season, have them there. So I think it's really good that we got this young lad over the line. Again, he's 20 as well. There are rumours of there being like a sell-on clause. If that gets the player we want over the line, why not? What is the negative to getting him there as well? It'll be, I believe it's a profit sell-on clause, which is good. It's not a base layer one. And he could become a really good player in the Premier League. He was so good for Slavia last year, top in the stats, doing some really good stuff at the age of 20. Now, there will be an adjustment period, and I think that's what I want to urge all West Ham fans, is let this guy adjust. You know, let's not expect him to come in from day dot, all guns blazing, because it's just not going to work. There's not. It could happen. He could blow us away from day one, and I hope that does happen. But I don't expect it. I don't expect Graham Potter to put the pressure on him straight away and have him in that left wing back role. I'd actually suspect he'd start Ollie Scarles over Diouf to start with whilst he's getting acquitted to London and the Premier League and this whole new environment. Because again, moving at 20 to an entirely new country, I can't even comprehend that. This kid's 4 years younger than me. If you told me I had to move over to, you know, obviously I had a lot of money, I'd be loving that aspect of it, don't get me wrong, but it's just, there's a lot of you know, adjustment to do. And we know Graham Potter, and one thing I like about Graham Potter is he's very player focused. He does care about his players, he does care about the mindset and the mentality at the club, which is super important. You need that at your club. You need to have that level of love and protection from the manager. I think sometimes we saw with the Lopetegui era that might not have been the case. Again, we can't say that for sure because a lot of players got on with Lopetegui. We know Bowen did. Bowen had a lot of, you know, played well under Lopetegui, and I'm sure a lot of the respects for Lopetegui comes from him giving the captaincy. But with Potter, we know that the camp has been happier. You know, they do believe in Potter's ideas. I think it's been more of a player mindset mentality that was wrong last year. I know that Potter's brought in a coach for that, which I know some people laugh at, but it might actually help. You have to realise that we've gone from lofty heights to nothing. We've become the only team that some people were expecting to get relegated that aren't in the top. I think it's us and Brentford, sadly, that are in that kind of zone of being in the space of we could get relegated. But as well, this is the thing that just starts for us, which I like, is the idea that we're now getting our transfer window underway. We're being linked to players, thankfully, in the midfield. Not seeing enough striker links for me. We you know, I think Antonio, you know, won't be here. I hope we do give him a proper goodbye. I'm sure he will once we know those talks are absolutely gone. But yeah, I'm really impressed with this deal. But you guys let me know in the comments below. Were you a fan of the deal? Did you want Diouf to West Ham? Are you happy we've got him? Is there another left back option that you guys would have liked at the club? Do you like the idea of Diouf? Do you think it's a right sign? Do you think it's not good enough? Do you think it's a bit too much money? Let me know all those details in the comments below. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. It's a brand new channel, so any of that you can do really does mean a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and goodbye.